Namaskar. Myself, Dr. Pramod Kumar Gupta, and I am founder of Indian Teacher Education Community. We have organized a program on Indian teacher education with the Gulab Smriti Shiksha Mahavidyalaya Borawan, and I am inviting Dr. Surendra Tiwari sir for further proceeding. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. I am Dr. Surendra Kumar Tiwari, Principal, Gulab Yadav Smriti Shiksha Mahavidyalaya Borawan. Good afternoon, everyone. Gulab Yadav Smriti Shiksha Mahavidyalaya and Indian Education Community jointly organizing 12 days Faculty Development Program, Teacher Education in India. You are welcome to our FDP program. I heartily welcome to our resource person, a well-known person, educationist, and eminent personality, Professor Dr. GOEL sir, and also thanks Dr. Pramod Gupta, President, Indian Teacher Education Community. I hope the program will be great and successful. Thank you all the participants. Have a great time. Thank you everyone for joining us. And now I am inviting Dr. Professor Dr. GOEL sir. Over to GOEL sir.
Namaskar, Principal Sahab, Dr. Surendra ji. I really feel proud of you for providing us this platform for organizing this program on teacher education in India. And Pramod Kumar, Dr. Pramod Kumar has really initiated this program, uniting all of us, and he has tried his level best to have national level networking of teacher educators and teacher education institutions. Well, the focus of today's session is teacher education in search of identity, or education in search of identity. Now we will have a PowerPoint presentation and we'll keep discussing simultaneously. Now let me share the screen with you. Now, as I told you that the focus of the session today is education in search of identity. And
Yes, sir. Your PPT is visible.
yeah, but slide. Okay. Now let's focus on to begin with what is our ID as education is, or what is the identity of education. Now let us to begin with focus on education. What is the focus of education? When I joined my B.Ed in Hindu College of Education, Sonipat, Haryana, the motto of the college which was written there was, education is adjustment. Education is adjustment means adjustment with all sorts of conditions, all sorts of environments. And one should be in a position to adjust and adjust very amicably. And also education is, we are at times in some set of conditions, and then we go somewhere else. There the conditions are different. Then education is also deconditioning. That is, we decondition from one set of conditions and tune ourselves with respect to other set of conditions. And when we look into the very first day, my teacher, who was teaching us principles and practices of education, namely Professor Adarsh Sharma, she said, education is a discipline for all-round development of the personality. Am I audible, Pramod? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. We are listening.
Yeah, thank you very much. Education is for all-round development of a person or all-round development of personality. What does it mean? Our physical development, mental development, social development, emotional development, all sorts of development. This we call it in education cognitive development, mental development, affective development, development of feeling faculty, and psychomotor development, development of motor muscle skills. And this state, education is a state where the idea springs, the feelings flow, the motor muscles create, and the self and the soul or the prana, these prana reign, and the self resonates with the rest with full resonance. That is education. And when we look into our scriptures, their education is a discipline which disciplines us into having controls on the all the senses. Be these ज्ञान इंद्रियां हो सकती हैं, उसमें काम इंद्रियां हो सकती हैं, उसमें मन हो सकता है, और भी बहुत सारे वहां पर फैक्टर्स हैं. जैसे ज्ञान इंद्रियां हैं, 5 हैं. All of us know those: our eyes, our ears, nose, tongue, touch. And when we go into the realm of कर्म इंद्रिया, जिससे हम काम करते हैं, we utilize for working our hands, our legs, our communication, then the reproductory organs, the excretory organs, all these 5 constitute कर्म इंद्रिया. और जब हम मन की ओर जाते हैं, तो श्रीमद् भगवत गीता में दिया है कि जो मन है वो ज्ञान इंद्रिय में भी आता है और कर्म इंद्रिय में भी आता है. जब हम कहते हैं कि मन ज्ञान इंद्रियों में आता है, उसका रिश्ता है हमारे मस्तिष्क से, हमारी स्पाइनल कॉर्ड से, हमारी थिंकिंग से. और जब हम कहते हैं कि मन कर्म इंद्रियों में आता है, अब मन का स्वभाव है, हमारा मन का स्वभाव है कि इट वांडर्स वेरी फास्ट. मोरारी बापू हैं यहाँ पर गुजरात में, वो कहते हैं, एक बार उनका प्रवचन सुनने के लिए गया था. I was there when he was indoctrinating, when he was having his session. He said he was addressing a large crowd, many people were there, but he was saying, he was saying कि मन का स्वभाव ऐसा बहुत चंचल है, ये बहुत जल्दी कहीं ना कहीं चला जाता है. स्टूडेंट क्लास में होता है, लगता है कि बहुत अटेंटिव है, पर वो क्लास में नहीं होता, कहीं बाहर चला जाता है. पर मन की एक और खूबी भी है कि ये जल्दी जाता है और वापस भी जल्दी आता है. It deviates very fast and it is in a position to revive its original state very fast. Now, how to rein the mind, how to control the mind, how to have control on the senses, be it Gyanendriya, be it Karmendriya, be it the mind, which is a composite of both, that is Gyanendriya, Karmendriya. So what education is? What is the identity of education? Can anybody say, if some doctor is going, we say, oh, here is a doctor. If some engineer is going, we say, here is an engineer. When we are conversing with a businessman, with the very patterns of communication, we can mark that the fellow is a businessman. They have highly economic language. But when we people go, are the people, are others in a position to identify that here are educationists, here are teachers, and here are teacher educators? Can we be identified? What is our identity? And whether you believe me or you do not believe me, but I do believe that warriors can conquer the lands. Warriors can conquer and conquer the materialistic things. Warriors can do harm to the temples. Warriors can damage the properties. Warriors can snatch the things. Warriors can kill. But it is education, and education only, which can bewitch the minds. bewitch the minds. And what is required for this is that when education is in a position to bewitch the mind, it is in a position to help us realize our original state, that is the state of peace, the state of grace, the state of bliss. So education is a discipline which helps us to be not only human beings. There has been a German philosopher. Hopefully he is alive. I'm not sure. But what did he say? That what we want to be, what we are becoming, and what is our being. Is there a difference between becoming, and being? And when it comes to the ripe stage means there is there is exit to every end in life and exit. And when it comes to the point of exit, are we in a position to realize that we know only a little of this of thy creation? जो सृष्टा ने बनाया है, जो भगवान ने बनाया है, जो क्रिएटर की निर्मित है, उसके बारे में तो हमें बिल्कुल, it is just like an iota of that. But should we stop doing it? Should we stop having knowledge base? No, we ought to have as much knowledge base as we can have. Our professor K.P. Pandey, sorry to share with you that recently he passed away from Varanasi. He used to say, GOEL, there are two approaches of gaining knowledge, of gathering knowledge, of arriving at knowledge. One is Lokik, another is Alokik. Lokik means through the experiment, through research, what we do. What do we do through research? We try to find out the cause and effect relationship. And how do we find out the cause and effect relationship? We see certain effects in the form of some problems. Then we try to find out some causes employing suitable research. And then we find out the relationship. Here are the effects, here are the causes. Not only that, when we find those relationships, we try to reason those out. Reason those out. Oh, how come all the plants in this area are getting dry? Oh, there is less of water, less of rains. So what is the effect? The leaves of the plants getting dried. And on the other side, the scarcity of water. So effect and cause, we try to find out the relationship. Now, reason it out. When we reason it out, whether the water has gone deep into the earth, whether there have been less of rains, or whether the water is misused, or certain crops, like at the place of wheat, we are sowing, say, rice, which consumes a lot of water. Then we try to reason it out. Reason means if we analyze the reason can be divided into 3 syllables. As on. We revisit our knowledge, we revisit our feelings, we revisit our attitudes, we revisit our skills, and every time we revisit, we find that we get something new. It means knowledge is never ever complete. Our feelings are never ever ultimate. Our skills are never ever perfect. It means no knowledge is ultimate, no feelings are ultimate, no skills are ultimate. Then should we stop research? Should we stop having knowledge of the entities of the universe? No. More and more knowledge we have, more and more friendly relationship we can have with all the entities. And for this session, the ultimate aim of education is the development of universal beings. How can we be universal beings? When we know about all the entities of the universe. What is an entity? Entity is something biota or biota, char या achar. जो भी इस सृष्टि में है वो सत्व कहलाता है और it is called entity. Now in a lifetime, how much knowledge we have of how many entities? We have very limited knowledge base. We have very limited database. We have very limited feeling faculty and philosophies, but we should try to have as much knowledge as we can so that we are in a position to relate to a large number of entities. We have interrelation, we have interdependence, we have fabrication, we have integration, so that we become holistic one with this universe, and there lies the beauty of life and living. So that ought to be the identity of education. But some of the universities, such as Guwahati, Mumbai, Revansha University, Orissa, are conferring Doctor of Philosophy in Education degree under the arts faculty, whereas it has been substantially established that education is an interdisciplinary discipline. Education is not only art, education is not only science, education is not only commerce. Education relates to all the disciplines, and all the disciplines emerge from education and merge into education. So we say that science explores, art expresses, commerce connects. You find education, it is education and education only which has that identity that it has interdisciplinarity. Now the new education policy 2020 is again and again focusing on multidisciplinarity, cross-disciplinarity. But the big question before all of us, all my brothers and sisters, is how we will realize interdisciplinarity. What will be the modus operandi? Okay, over 10 years, we will have universities which are really representative of the universe, higher education, really representative of the universe. But how will we realize that in multidisciplinarity, cross-disciplinarity, interdisciplinarity? There is a false notion that education has only a little core, but more of periphery, and education suffers from the missing elements of unique discipline which are non-replicable in other disciplines. पता है आपको हमको दूसरे लोग दूसरे डिसिप्लिन्स क्या बोलते हैं? कहते हैं साइंस का हमारा जो है ना कंटेंट्स हैं, हमारे कंटेंट्स हैं, हमारी मेथोडोलॉजी है. केमिस्ट्री वाले बोलते हैं हमारी है, बायोलॉजी वाले बोलते हैं हमारी है, पॉलिटिकल साइंटिस्ट बोलते हैं हमारा ये सब्सटेंस है और ये मेथोडोलॉजी है. तुम्हारा को हमें बोलते हैं, एजुकेशन वालों को बोलते हैं, टीचर्स को बोलते हैं, टीचर एजुकेटर्स को बोलते हैं. क्या बोलते हैं मालूम है? ये बोलते हैं they say us that what is your substance, which are your contents of your own, and what are your methodology? Your research methodologies are borrowed, your teaching methodologies are borrowed. But how do you say that you are a discipline? They simply say that you are not a discipline. But I say of certain, not only I say, you will also say along with me in a single verse, that universe, that is single verse, that education has its own identity. Education has its own substance. Education has its own beauty. Like we say that beauties of nature cannot be measured, but only treasured. That is the beauty of education. And to appreciate the beauty of education, the entire globe needs to appreciate that education is an interdisciplinary discipline. And I'll request you that in case you have any query, any question, rather than having talk back, you can have interim interaction. You can flag your question at any point of time during my presentation, so that we have really a meaningful session. And UPSC, Union Public Service Commission in India, also does not realize the identity of education, sorry to say, because they have failed to include education as a discipline. जो IAS हैं वो सब एरियाज में है, एजुकेशन क्या नहीं है उसमें, उसमें एमएड, पीएचडी एजुकेशन, एमए एजुकेशन, पीएचडी इन एजुकेशन, उनके लिए कोई नहीं है। इंडियन एजुकेशन सर्विसेज में, इंडियन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सर्विस में एजुकेशन के लिए कोई जगह ही नहीं है। इसका मतलब एजुकेशनिस्ट्स आर नॉट फिट फॉर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। आई एम रेजिंग दिस क्वेश्चन, and I am raising this question for one and all in my country, that how come UPSC has forgotten, and it, despite writing again and again over the 2 decades, it perhaps UPSC people are not reading the research papers. They are not going through those papers, what is written therein, and what I owe an explanation for whatsoever I act, for whatsoever I do to my own self and to others. Let the UPSC do it. Now, teacher education ethos. Teacher education ethos. If you ask me, have you joined teacher education by your wish and will and choice, I would say no. I wanted to be an engineer. Sorry. But it is a big story. I was ill during my pre-engineering, that is 12th standard then, and as a result of that, there was supplementary. I had to clear supplementary, so I didn't like to waste 1 year. I joined BSc second year, and this is how I entered education. Now here is a small poem. I'll read you. I'll try to recite to you. On teacher education ethos, and above that we have written Omkar, and I'll request you to Omkar with me, all of you who are on this webinar platform. I'll just begin. You also recite. You also chant Omkar with me. Okay, I just start. And through this recitation, you can find that neither we know the beginning of Om, nor do we know where it ends. It has just like when we say Lord God, neither we know the origin nor do we know the end. We fail to find what is the body also. Om is that akshar, जिसका क्षय नहीं होता है. और ये leave aside, but to talk of India, even America, they have regular chanting of Om on their through their telecasts. Well, I begin with Om, and now teacher education ethos. We were never interested in B.Ed. It is B.Ed which interested us, the other way. We opted for wandering wild, but it is education which captured us. No interest. I said, Papa, I don't like to be a teacher. I don't like to join B.Ed. Papa said, okay, you just go and experience it. In case it interests you, you be there. Otherwise, you leave it. And I listened to him. I obeyed him. And the very first session of my teacher was so interesting, so effective, so touching, so retaining, so immersive that till now I'm in teacher education. Far from structure of phenol, far from synthesis of cholesterol, far from superhet receivers, far from gold medal achievers. Far from differential and integral calculus, far from GeoGebra and quadratic equation, far from equity and logical operations, far from mega projects and microprocessors. It is education which eternally accomplished the DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA structure, core and ethos of life, more than knowledge and epistemology, theory of knowledge. Epistemology means theory of knowledge. More than knowledge and epistemology, transcended us of mind, space, and time. When we say transcendence from time, space, and mind, what does it mean? It means that there is thinking beyond my thinking, mind. There is life, there is time which no bounds. There is time beyond my life. And there is space beyond the space. Can I modernize myself that I can go to each and every, I can scan the space globe over? Not only this universe, all the universes? No. In a single lifespan, it's difficult. It's not possible rather. Unless or until you connect with thee, and you are with the grace of thee, you can have darshan of all the universes with the grace of God. Just as Arjuna could darshan the entire universes by the grace of Lord Krishna, who provided to him दिव्य ज्योति. अब इन आंखों से संभव नहीं है देखना, उनको दिव्य ज्योति प्रदान की थी लॉर्ड कृष्णा ने. Now, preface of the National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education 2009. Our National Curriculum Framework जो अध्यापक शिक्षा का है वो लेटेस्ट अब तक 2009 में है. नई शिक्षा नीति के अनुसार ये अपेक्षा की जाती है कि अध्यापक शिक्षा का जो फ्रेमवर्क है वो 2022 तक आएगा. उसे एनसीटी बनाएगा एनसीईआरटी की मदद से. देखते हैं कहाँ तक हम जाते हैं उसमें. पर ये जिस एनसीएफटी की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ 2009 की, उस समय प्रोफेसर मोहम्मद अख्तर सिद्दीकी चेयरपर्सन होते थे एनसीटी के, एंड आई वाज आल्सो द चेयरपर्सन ऑफ द वेस्टर्न रीजनल कमेटी ऑफ एनसीटी देन. नाउ व्हाट ही राइट्स, what is written by Professor M.A. Siddiqui in the preface. People in this country, that is India, have been slow to recognize that education is a profession for which intensive preparation is necessary as it is in any other profession. This concern expressed in the University Education Commission, that is Kothari Education Commission, 1948-49 report is alive and alive in its relevance even today. Though verily a professional, the teacher's personality in being humane to the learners is the core foundational issue on which this framework is based. That वो जो करिकुलम फ्रेमवर्क है ना एनसीईआरटी 2009 का, उसके मुख्य बाहर के कवर पृष्ठ पर बीचों बीच लिखा है ह्यूमेन एंड प्रोफेशनल टीचर्स. our intent, our aim ought to be the development of humane and professional teachers. Who is humane? Who is humane? Anyone from amongst the people who are in the webinar? Anyone who would like to say who is human? Who is humane? Yes, please, you can you can demute your mic and say anyone. Are you listening to me? तिवारी सर, आप मेरी आवाज आप सब तक पहुंच रही है?
Yes sir, you are audible.
हाँ बेटा बोलिए ना, आप बताइए who is human? चलो मैं आपको एक कहानी बताता हूँ, आप सुनना पसंद करेंगे? छोटी सी कहानी है, सुनाऊं? हेलो Friend from Jamia Millia Islamia, what's your name? I forgot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ.
I'm Shadma, Dr. Shadma.
हाँ जी.
Sir, actually, participants won't be able to answer because their mics are muted.
It's all right.
So
It's
they
all
can
right.
only respond in the chat box.
Okay, they can talk back at the end. Fine, fair enough. Now I tell you, one afternoon, then I was studying. I joined here in the where from I am speaking today, Vadodara. In Vadodara, we have a university called the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda. It is after the name of the king of this region. Then I was doing my postdoctoral. I completed my PhD and I was doing my postdoctoral research on ETV in India. I was staying in a hostel here. I was a boarder. One afternoon, what happened? A pig was crying at the pitch of his, started crying at the pitch of his voice. And the cry was so touching. The cry was so full of pain. It was near the hostels. It was so full of pains that the boarders came out of the rooms. The support staff came out of their quarters, and the passers-by who were going to the university administration stopped on the road. And what happened was, some pig hunters with the ropes tied bamboos were trying to make the pig a prey. They wanted to make शिकार बनाना चाहते थे उसको पिग को. और ये प्रीडेटर्स कौन थे? 6-7 जन थे. और उनमें से वो मिलके उसका मुंह को बांध रहे थे जोर से. और वो जब उसके मुंह को जोर से बांध रहे थे तो जोर से चिल्ला रहा था वो. और जोर से चिल्ला रहे थे तो सब, all of us, including me, I was on the 3rd floor of the hostel. From that side space, I was looking at the scene. I was a spectator who was viewing that scene like a silent spectator. That sordid drama, that sordid happening, that painful happening. None of the human beings acted. You know what happened then? Only cry was that of the pig. Rest all was silence. And then a cow came running to that spot, where from, God knows where from it appeared. And just after coming, she started fighting with all these predators. And with the help of her horns, she scooped many of them. And all of them could not fight with that cow, single cow. And this cow sheltered the pig. And it removed that rope which was tied on the mouth of the pig, and with her stood with the pig, was very, very humanistic with the pig, who was being preyed by the prey, means who was being made prey by the predators, जिसको शिकारी शिकार करना चाहते हैं. अब हमारे एक वाइस चांसलर साहब थे, वो यहाँ पर आकर कहते थे हमें फोरम्स में, man is a social animal. Is not there a reversal that the other animals other than man are trying to become humans, and they are trying to become human beings? It is the reversal. Sorry. We as human beings need to introspect, need to find out whether we are really human beings, what we want to be, what we are becoming, what is our being ultimately, and what is after. जब अब पढ़ लिख लिए, PhD भी हो गए, D.Litt भी हो गए, B.Ed हो गए, M.Ed हो गए, अध्यापक शिक्षक भी हो गए, हायर एजुकेशन में शिक्षक भी हो गए. अगर हम अपने अंदर झांक कर देखें, क्या हमें उन सब मूल्यों का विकास हुआ? क्या हमें, is there inculcation of all those values? Is there inculcation of all those virtues? is there inculcation of those affect attributes which we should embody as human beings, not only feeling. Those feelings are no use which do not emanate into action. Are we those? So what Professor Siddiqui says in the very first opening line, that though verily a professional, the teacher's personality in being humane to the learner is the core foundational issue on which this framework is based. Which framework? Teacher education framework. In order that it has a bearing on transforming the very dynamics of teacher education per se. Two significant developments, particularly the National Curriculum Framework 2005 and the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009, as well as the fundamental tenets enshrined in the Constitution of India, have guided the development of this framework. Let me give you glimpses of what he has said. Now, for the teacher education to become transforming, is the teacher education in a position to transform in the form which it envisages to do? No. Now, for doing that, there are two significant developments. One, NCF 2005, National Curriculum Framework 2005 for school education, and Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act, as well as the fundamental tenets enshrined in the Constitution of India, have guided the development of this framework. I ask you a question. I ask all my brothers and sisters who are on this webinar or in this session, attending this session, including my honorable principal, Dr. Surendra Tiwari and Pramod Gupta, I ask all of you, are the children of farmers attending the schools, all the children? Are the children of laborers attending the school? Are the children who are roadside children who sleep on the roadside during night and when on the red light who show the acrobats, children acrobats जो सर्कस करके दिखाते हैं, उनके पास वो रिंग होता है, उसको जैसे ही ट्रैफिक रुकता है उसको करके दिखाते हैं और फिर हाथ फैलाते हैं. There is hardly anyone who pays them any coin. There are many children like that. Simply right to education. Does it ensure the right to education? Does it help bring the children to the institutions? क्या बच्चे उस एज के प्रांगण में आ सकते हैं? What is the state despite the rule that there ought not to be children laborers? We have children laborers right in the perceptible range, and we accept the Vyanjan, the substance presented by them, and some owners have owned them and they give them minimal land. This is how their lives are going on. So I think our teacher education framework has to be in such a way that we are in a position to really intervene into, and we should not be dictated by anyone. Teacher education in India has to be so strong that it has its own identity. The National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education, NCFT, National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education 2009 elaborates the context, concerns, and vision, underscoring that teacher education and school education have a symbiotic relationship. What is the symbiotic relationship between teacher education and school education? स्कूल एजुकेशन में जितने अध्यापकों की आवश्यकता होगी टीचर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस में उतने तैयार करे जाएंगे. स्कूल एजुकेशन का जो ईथोस होगा टीचर एजुकेशन में वो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स होंगे. मतलब स्कूल एजुकेशन में और टीचर एजुकेशन में इक्वेशन होना चाहिए. अगर स्कूल एजुकेशन में लाइफ स्किल्स पढ़ाए जा रहे हैं तो टीचर्स को तैयार करना होगा कि ये लाइफ स्किल्स क्या हैं. Am I aware of my own self, my strengths, my weaknesses? Do I know of the society, the strengths and weaknesses of the society, and can I manage the self and the society? do I have creative thinking, critical thinking, decision making, problem solving, faculties to control and regulate my emotions? If school children have to learn that, the teachers ought to have those profiles, that they are in a position to develop the life skills in the children. वो पहले life skill था, अभी तो वो that is no, all will be promoted. Now there are some schools of thought, they say no, all should not be promoted, only those who are capable. Now how is it that our learners are not capable? Because most of our focus is on the output rather than on the input, process and throughput. If our focus is more on the input, हमारा आदान क्या है, हमारी प्रक्रिया क्या है, हम उसमें क्या करते हैं, throughput क्या है, then the output is almost ascertained. Output is also almost ascertained. I think we need to focus on that. Symbiotic relationship will be there when there will be equation amongst the teacher education institutions and the school education. There should be one-to-one equation. And for that, we have to do many things, manpower planning. Okay, how many teachers we require? So how many institutions we need to have? There ought to be state-wise surveys regarding how many teacher education institutions are required and where. What is happening today? Some places there is a lot of concentration. Some places there are very rare teacher education institutions. I think we have to need to, if we are really interested in frameworking the education and teacher education, whatsoever is there within our frame, जिसको हमने frame लगाया है, उसके भीतर जो भी है, वो बहुत न्याय संगत होना चाहिए, बहुत न्याय संगत होना चाहिए. It has to be fully justified. The new concerns of school curriculum and the expected transaction and modalities have been emphasized in designing this framework for all stages of school education. Issues related to inclusive education, perspectives for equitable and sustainable development, gender perspectives, role of community knowledge in education, and ICT in schooling, as well as e-learning become the central stage in the framework. आपके सामने भी ये है और मैंने आपको बोल के भी सुनाया है. इसमें से हम कितना कर रहे हैं, कितना हम पूरा with passion, with all passion, with all determination, with all actions, how much we are doing. I find that the scenario is not that which we envisage to have. I think there is a need to bring in many changes. Now we talk of ICT, we talk of visual reality, we talk of augmented reality, we talk of mixed reality. But how many of our teachers are really in a position to prepare this material? And if already ready-made material is there, how many of them are in a position to utilize it? But to talk of the other things, now because of COVID-19, we had to make use of technology, and technology because we were locked down and we value education. And I really appreciate that all my teachers, all my teacher educators acted from home, and some would do it through Google app, some will do through Zoom, some would do it through there are RAN apps. Okay, but they have accepted the challenge and started doing it. Come what may, we teachers in India, we shed off all of our problems before we start entering into our discipline and acting into our discipline and entering into our classroom. That is the beauty of Indian education. This is how, despite all ifs and buts, the entire globe at large likes to emulate Indian teachers and Indian learners. So I feel proud of my education that way. Then pre-service and in-service components of teacher education being inseparable, Considerable focus has been given in this framework on continuing professional development strategies. Since a major area of weakness in the existing teacher preparation programs is the quality and experience of those who have the responsibility of training young entrants to the profession of teaching. A fresh perspective of preparation of teacher educators is dealt with in detail. Recently, I was there 4 years in CIT of NCERT. There we developed a 4-credit course on perspectives, issues, and research in teacher education. 4-credit course for the entire country. Even the cross-border students can opt for it. And it is CIT is in the process of starting this program. Almost ready. It's not almost. It is ready. Now, what I am saying is we have to strengthen both the pre-service and the in-service. Pre-service means just like we do our graduation and enter into B.Ed, or we do our we complete our masters and enter into B.Ed, then M.Ed. This is pre-service. And in-service is when we are already in service. There is a need to have professional development of we teachers. Having professional development of we teachers means knowledge is not stagnant, skills are not stagnant, feelings, attitude, philosophies are not stagnant. We have to be refreshed and refreshed continuously. And there ought to be certain mechanisms that our in-service programs and pre-service programs both are strengthened. Then NCFT 2009 and NCF 2005 achievements so far. National Curriculum Framework Teacher Education का 2009 में आया लेटेस्ट, और नेशनल करिकुलम फ्रेमवर्क स्कूल एजुकेशन का 2005 में आया है. टीचर एजुकेशन वाले को 12 साल हो गए और स्कूल वाले को 16 साल हो गए. अब मैं आपके सामने अपना रोना रो हूं, whether I should tell you my pain, whether I should share my pain with you. Some of the colleges of education do not know even what is NCFT 2009. And many teachers do not know what is NCF 2005. And now we have come to the NEP 2020. Recently, this 2020 National Education Policy, Rashtriya Shikshik Niti. I think it is our duty. It is our duty, just as we eat, just as we sleep, it is our duty to go through the frameworks. Whosoever we are, our related frameworks, we should be very, very, very sensitive to, and we should have very analytical and comprehensive understanding of the NCFTE and NCF for school education. Now, continuous comprehensive evaluation is a powerful regulator. जैसे पंखे का regulator होता है ना, इसी तरह से continuous comprehensive evaluation is a regulator because it believes in shaping. It believes in periodical tests. It believes in not grading and certification. It believes in shaping. So the evaluation ought to be continuous and comprehensive. Continuous means it should be interconnected evaluation, aviral mulyankan, and comprehensive means it should cover the entire substance or entire objectives envisaged. It's a powerful regulator. In case we have continuous comprehensive evaluation, it is a very powerful regulator. The voices of the children in this context are playway activities we play, the science we experiment, the mathematics we speculate, stories we narrate, games we play, musical notes we generate, keep us healthy and gay. The continuous flow of the CCE, that is continuous comprehensive evaluation, has made our studies full of life. The CCE has infused energy in all of us, the teachers, learners, parents, and the society. We may be tired after day's work, but we do not feel tired. CCE is not a burden. It is a band of rhythm, rhyme, and resonance. Along with the learners, the innovativeness, creativity, and efficiency of the teachers also increase significantly. The whole of primary school system, including watchmen, sports staff, sweepers, gardeners, mess staff, office staff, teachers, learners, parents, society, CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education, the primary section coordinator, school management, and the principal, madam, function synergetically. The entire primary school system is fully lively and fruitfully functional due to CCE. I think we should honor CCE, we should respect CCE, we should induct CCE, we should observe CCE, continuous comprehensive evaluation. There is added focus on multiple intelligence and life skills. Intelligence एक तरीके के नहीं है. Intelligence arts and crafts में intelligence कितना है, cognitive intelligence कितना है, social intelligence कितना है. आपका सिर्फ अक्षर विद्या में intelligence है. Sometimes A+ grade fails and B+ pass in life-like situations. Why? Because they don't have balanced growth. We should have all sorts of intelligences, and you can do the surfing on the internet. You can do the surfing through hard volumes, and you will find lot of literature on multiple intelligence. Meaning thereby, we should be sensitive to all the domains, all the areas, and we ought to develop our abilities and capabilities and nurture our abilities and capabilities to address the problems. We Indians, right from the birth, face large number of problems. You know why we Indians are very, very good at development of computer software, and why we mothers are very good in providing nutritive food, and are in a position to develop us as human beings. They face those problems right from the beginning, and they address those problems very easily, very precisely, very skillfully, very amicably. That is the beauty of my land, Aryavrat. सनातन, हमारी संस्कृति सनातन है, अर्थात जो चिर पुरातन है और नित्य नूतन है. We sustain our ethos, and और जो हमारा इतिहास है उससे हम इतिश्री करते हैं, उससे हम आरंभ करते हैं, उससे हम अपने को मॉडर्नाइज करते हैं. We should not lose sight of our scripture. I would request every teacher educator to go through Srimad Bhagavad Gita, also to go through Bhagavatam, also to go through many Purans, also go through Ramayana, also go through Guru Granth Sahib, to go through Quran. All these, I visit all these. Day before yesterday, I visited church. I visited in Bijapur. I visited another religious institution, masjid, and I visited gurdwaras. I go to temples. I have found their ways may be different, their norms may be different. All these converge to that ultimate reality, that is the Creator. We should have the faculties to appreciate the ways of life and living of each other, and we should be integrated whole as a whole. As all, we should be integrated whole, despite of our religion, disciplines. We should have a merger into education, which is interdisciplinary. Critical pedagogy has been promoted in various dimensions of the school through cooperative learning, participatory approach, and action research. What is pedagogy? Pedagogy is a discipline which deals in the principles of teaching, and that teaching is not qualified as teaching which does not emanate into learning. So pedagogy is a discipline which embodies the principles of teaching learning. And when does it become critical? When we are in a position to tune to each and every learner, even in the class setting, while teaching, though we are impersonal, it is because we are teaching the class, still we know
Sir, your voice is not audible. Due to some technical issue, sir has lost the connection. Kindly wait for some time. He will be joining very soon. Sir, you can unmute now since you have joined back.
Sadma, am I audible now?
Yes, sir, very clearly. Your
Yeah,
screen is
there
also
was some
we
network
can see
problem.
it.
We have settled it. No?
No issues, no issues.
Yeah,
Please go ahead.
Borawan critical pedagogy has been promoted in various dimensions of school through cooperative learning, participatory approach, and action research. And I was sharing with you the participatory approach. We can say while teaching research methodology, I found particularly while dealing with statistics and computing, say chi-square or ANOVA or ANCOVA or Manvitne U-test, I found that some of the students were not in a position to solve those problems. And it was very difficult for a single teacher to address to all of them because they were having, each one of them was having a different difficulty. So what was done was, as per their choice, they were associated with other students, and other students of their choice, as per their discretion, helped them. And this is how the entire class, through participatory approach, could do well, and the objectives of the research methodology course could be realized. Particularly here, it was in the context of statistics and action research. And I think we in schools and we in colleges should promote action research. What is action research? My problem, my formulation, my identification and formulation, my sources and resources, my methodology, my solution, and how through that I come out of the problem, or how the quality of the life and living is improved. This is action research. I think these are some examples. We should promote all such approaches. Rarely attempts have been made to motivate children from marginalized sections of society for expression of their knowledge and skills related to work, and to have cumulative human experience along with children from other sections. Segregation hai. There is segregation of the children from marginalized groups. अभी आजकल भी अभी भी छोटा बड़ा ये चलता है, तुम्हारी जाति है, तुम्हारी जमायती है, मेरी जाति है, मेरी जमायत है। अरे भाई, सबसे पहले तो हम इंसान हैं। हाँ, वो सब भूल जाओ, जो ये रिलीजियस फंडामेंटलिज्म और जो ये बाउंड्रीज क्रिएट करी गई हैं, दिस मिस्chievous fundamentalism, we should do away with, and we should liberate ourselves, and we should have all cooperation. And just I'm coming to you. Are you in a position to listen to me, Sadma?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
But this
Yes,
slide.
sir, you are audible.
Yeah. I'm just trying to move it, but there is some difficulty in it.
We can hear you. Now it has changed.
Now it is there. Rare attempts have been made to develop citizenship skills. There is evident rejection of the old and acceptance of the new. What do we mean by citizenship, and who is a citizen? Citizen किसको बोलते हैं? नागरिकता क्या है? नागरिक किसको बोलते हैं? जो नगर में रहता है वो नागरिक? नगर में रहने के लिए वो एट्रीब्यूट्स आने चाहिए, वो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आने चाहिए, वो गुण आने चाहिए, वो प्रॉपर्टीज आने चाहिए जो नगर में आने के लिए हैं. If one has to be promoted from remote areas to the urban areas, one should develop those attributes, and then only one is in a position to live in an urban area. Simply having money and purchasing some bungalow and residing there and throwing masks from the third floor on the ground during this COVID-19 does not make us urban. When we say urban, जब नागरिकता की बात है तो हमें नागरिक होना चाहिए, और उन वैल्यूज का वो वैल्यूज उनका नैसर्गिक रूप से, प्राकृतिक रूप से वो हमारे में से झलकनी चाहिए, बहनी चाहिए, क्रियान्वयन उनका होना चाहिए. There are segregated schools on the basis of public and private. ये public है, ये private है. medium of instruction, religion, region, and school boards. All this segregation has resulted into the fragmentation of the society. There are marked differences between municipal corporation schools and, sorry, there are marked differences between municipal corporation schools and private schools, native schools and international baccalaureates. अब ये सारे के सारे इतने सारे बोर्ड बना दिए, ये क्या, ये सरकारी, ये गैर सरकारी स्कूल है, ये पब्लिक स्कूल, ये कॉन्वेंट ऑफ जीसस एंड मैरी, ये रोजरी स्कूल, ये रिलीजन के नाम पे स्कूल का नाम रख दिया, पब्लिक प्राइवेट के नाम से रख दिया, नेशनल इंटरनेशनल के नाम से रख दिया, अलग अलग बोर्ड्स के नाम के लिए रख दिया। अरे रखो भाई, रखना है तो रखो, तुम सब रखो, पर कन्वर्ट समवेयर। आप कहेंगे अरे मैं जब पढ़ता था तो मैं तो मिडिल स्कूल म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन स्कूल का प्रोडक्ट हूँ। I am product of municipal corporation school. My primary school was in a village in Haryana, village Lairada near Sonipat, near 50 kilometers away from Delhi. I am product of that school. I am product of SM Hindu High School. But the value inculcation there, we used to do yag, we used to do havan, we used to have periods, classes on Dharm Shastra, but it was not teaching us religious fundamentalism. It was teaching us religion, to all the religions togetherness. That should be there. That should be the ethos of our education. And our teacher education programs, our teacher education ought to inculcate all those values. The private school students may have higher academic achievement, but they may have ethos related limitations. Very often, a non-native language is barrier in constructing knowledge. अब क्या हो गया है? एक बार की बात मैं बताता हूँ। हमारे गांव के सोनीपत के पास से किसी गांव में से ट्रैक्टर में एक वन पापा ब्रॉट 2 of his children. एक का नाम अभय राम था, दूसरे का नाम बेटे का मेरे को पता नहीं था। एंड वो अपने गांव के स्कूल में उनको दाखिला नहीं दिलवाना चाहता था। पैसा था फार्मर ने, तो वो होली चाइल्ड स्कूल के लिए ले आया। सोनीपत में होली चाइल्ड स्कूल है, उसमें दाखिला करवाना है। वो दोनों को भेज दिया अंदर। हाँ, रास्ते में आते आते वो बताया उनको, वो ट्रेन आ रही थी। पापा को तो अंग्रेजी आती नहीं है। वो बोला था देखो देखो अभयराम जीतराम क्या नाम है, ट्रेन आ रही है, ट्रेन देखिए। पापा को भी वो नहीं आता है। अब इन दोनों में से एक बच्चा तो बाहर भाग के आ गया, एक अंदर था जो दब्बू था वो बैठा रहा वहां पर। व्हाट इज दिस क्रेज? ये क्या क्रेज है? I like my child to go to such a school which is not indigenous, non-native, which is almost foreign, which is Macaulian. I don't say that we don't have public and private. Let us have, but let us try to transcreate our ethos. Let us try to transcreate our legends. Then we don't have any problems. But when there is demarcation, when there are more than the physical boundaries, when there are the mental boundaries, I am against it, and I revolt against it on every platform in India, be it any platform. The private school students may have a higher academic achievement. 99% of the 99.99 recurring आ गया, पर क्या उनका होलिस्टिक विकास हुआ? वो बस किताबी। आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट दे आर bookworms, but they have imbalanced development. A large number of such students are not having development in the other domains of life which are required to live life, the life skills. I think our schools, our educations, higher education institutions, our teacher education should prepare such graduates, postgraduates, should have production of such PhDs, should have such DLETs who really justify their degrees, and convocation without invocation are useless. Agar, oh, does it please you if degree be conferred? But what that degree is degree of? That But that scale is scale of. We have to be additionally careful regarding such factors. Even now, the children are deprived of the learning opportunity that occur in classroom with children from diverse socio-economic and cultural backgrounds. I think it is self-explanatory. I'll just have water. A large number of public schools still suffer from shortage of facility of infrastructure. It affects adversely not only academic learning but also overall health of the children. There are rare teachers who have both teaching competencies and teaching attitudes. Humane and professional teachers, both in one, are rarely found. There is a need to redesign teacher education curricula and modes of transaction, as well as approaches to inculcate universal values, namely truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. What do we mean by these terms? That is truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. Satya, compassion means dayaluta, forbearance, सहनशीलता, सत्य, दयालुता, सहनशीलता, क्या हमारी शिक्षा इनको विकसित करती है? सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम, क्या हमारी शिक्षा इसको विकसित करती है? डीकंडीशनिंग, क्या हमारी शिक्षा इसको विकसित करती है? एडजस्टमेंट, क्या हमारी शिक्षा इसको विकसित करती है? When we go from living India to the other countries, are we in a position to transcreate our culture and ethos there, or we start imitating them? I give you an example of one of my teacher educators, Professor Uday Shankar from Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. He used to narrate. Once I visited London, and it was a big hall, and there were all big ones, and he was invited there, and all started eating with those folks, and मेरे को तो नाम भी नहीं आता, because I am like more or less like in eating habits, I am like my professor Uday Shankar. तो वो सब फोर्क और वो चाकू और वो जो क्या है कांटे उनसे खा रहे थे. But Professor Uday Shankar did, he washed his hands and dried with his napkin, which was neat and clean. Leave all those added instruments on the side. Aside, he kept those aside and started eating with his hands. You know what happened in that forum? All these foreigners started eating the way he was eating. I think we should not have blind imitations. भगवान ने हाथ दिए हैं, भगवान ने पांव दिए हैं, उनका इस्तेमाल करके जितना हो सकता है वो खाएं पिए. हाँ, जब इमरजेंसी है और आवश्यकता पड़ती है तो उनका स्पेयरिंगली इस्तेमाल कर लें, इतने चाकू छुरों का, है ना. अगर हमारे शरीर पर चाकू लग जाए तो कितना दर्द होगा. एप्पल को लगा दिया. I think these instruments are just for help, not for destruction. We should try to imbibe and inculcate these values. Okay. There is a need to redesign teacher education curricula and modes of transaction, as well as opportunities to inculcate universal values, namely truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. There are large number of values we should have. I would say to all of you, my brothers and sisters, that let us have unconditional love for all, which Swami Vivekananda used to say. आपने किसी के हाथ पे कुछ पैसे रख दिए या किसी को कुछ खाने को दे दिया, बहुत बड़ा काम नहीं कर दिया. Give it has been done by that almighty through you. Don't bring even to your mind that you have done it. Okay, that is unconditional love. Unconditional love for all, unconditional love for lion, unconditional love for squirrel, unconditional love for every entity, whether abiota or biota. Our school education has to be strong enough to appreciate the preamble of Constitution of India, which demands determination and action to constitute, sustain and strengthen India into a sovereign, socialistic, secular, democratic republic state. Each one of you ask, कई बार जब कोर्ट में जाते हैं तो वो जो हाई कोर्ट है तो हाई कोर्ट का जज, और सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाते हैं तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जज ये कहता है, हाँ गीता पे हाथ रख के कसम खाओ कि जो कुछ भी हम कहेंगे सच कहेंगे और सच के सिवाय कुछ नहीं कहेंगे। मैं तो कहता हूँ जितने भी हमारे स्टेट्समैन हैं, we have produced politicians but we have not produced statesmen. ओके, हमने राजनीतिक शास्त्री तो पैदा कर दिए, विकसित कर दिए, पर हमारे पास राजगुरु कोई बिरला ही है। एंड आई फील प्राउड ऑफ माय पीएम who is real Rajguru in every act, in every mission, in every action, and in every design and in every plan of his, and right to the root, right to the root. I like that every Indian to emulate our honorable Prime Minister, not because he is Prime Minister, because he has those human attributes. He has those attributes. Sovereign. What is sovereign state? Anyone? Sovereign state means सर्व प्रभुता संपन्न स्टेट। हमारा राज्य, हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हमारे ही ऊपर लागू, जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लागू होगा हम बनाएंगे वो हमारे ऊपर लागू होगा। सब हमें पूरी स्वायत्तता है। सोशलिस्टिक स्टेट सामाजिक, सेकुलर धर्मनिरपेक्ष, डेमोक्रेटिक प्रजातांत्रिक एंड गणतंत्र, ये है हमारी स्टेट की एट्रीब्यूट्स। एंड इफ वी आर इन ए पोजिशन टू observe these attributes, we can really realize if there is any heaven in this Brahman, we can realize that. The sharp disparities between different social and economic groups are everywhere in the perceptible range in India. Even now, the children of the disadvantaged groups are educationally most vulnerable. What does it mean? Earlier, the society was governing the society. अभी तो युगांतर है ना, पहले सतयुग था, फिर त्रेता था, फिर द्वापर था, फिर कलयुग था। पता है क्यों? सतयुग में जमानत जो था ना, चारों पांव पर खड़ा था, बैलेंस था। फिर त्रेता आया, वो 3 पांव पर खड़ा था। फिर द्वापर आया, 2 पांव पर खड़ा था। अभी कलयुग तो शायद ही 1 पांव पर है, वो भी लड़खड़ा के खड़ा है। एंड progressively there is degeneration of values. And when we say there is degeneration of values, how to live? जैसे युगांतर होता गया, युगों का समय कम होता गया, क्योंकि अभी इस कलयुग में तो मारकाट ही है। अभी कोविड-19 के कारण सबको लॉकडाउन हो गया, घरों में बंद पड़े रहे। And we were observing the laborers who have been working for us, serving for us, building for us, starving and striving for life. And even the deliveries were on the roads. Who is accountable for such a crime? Who is accountable for such a sin? Who is accountable for production of COVID-19? I think time is not far off. आज तो जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, जैसे महाशिवरात्रि है आज, और किस तरह से शिव भगवान ने विष का पान किया था और विष पान करके कैसे सृष्टि को बचाया था। ये भारत है। और अब मेरे को एक बात याद आ गई, मैं सोचता हूँ आपको सुना ही दूं, मतलब अभी तक नहीं सुना है तो चलेगा। ये भारतवर्ष ऐसी भूमि है जहां पर धरती से सीता, धरती से माँ सीता, कान से करण, खंबे से नरसिंह और खाट से जाट पैदा होते हैं। तो भारत के साथ कभी कोई पंगा मत लेना। अगर किसी ने आर्याव्रत के साथ, किसी ने भारत के साथ, किसी ने इस पुण्य भूमि के साथ कोई भी बुरा सोचने का, करने की बात छोटा, बुरा सोचने की कोशिश भी करी तो वो क्रिएटर वो अवतार लेकर उसको यहाँ टिकने नहीं देंगे। ये मेरी फीलिंग है, ये मेरी अनुभूति है, और ये मेरी अनुप्राणित अनुभूति है। और ये हमारे जो भगवान है, जो अवतार है, उनके एक्शंस हैं। The sharp disparities between different social and economic groups are everywhere in the perceptible range in India. Even now, the children of the disadvantaged groups are educationally most vulnerable. जो disadvantaged groups हैं, उनके बच्चे शिक्षा का लाभ क्यों नहीं ले रहे हैं, ले नहीं पा रहे हैं? Now, actually, what happened was, earlier in Satyug, society was governing the society. Progressively, Sarkar ne, the state started governing the society. Now you know what is happening. The economy is overarching both the state and society. जैसे वो इमला देते हैं, जैसे वो डिक्टेशन देते हैं, सोसाइटी और स्टेट वैसे चलते हैं। ये करोड़पति, ये मैं हर करोड़पति को नहीं बोलता, but there are some who are doing that. Though we have large number of multi-grade schools based on mechanical principle of teacher-pupil ratio, within 1 kilometer of each habitation, yet we have not been in a position to provide compatible pedagogy. We have not been in a position to provide suitable Shiksha to our children, though we have said that the school should be in the geographic proximity of the home of the inhabitants. Child-centered education still in infancy. Constructivist learning approach has been talked a lot, but rarely implemented in the schools. Let me focus on the constructivist approach. इसका मतलब क्या है? अरे भारत का तो जन्म कंस्ट्रक्टिविस्ट उपागम से ही हुआ है, सर्जनात्मक उपागम से ही हुआ है। कैसे? हमारे यहाँ पर पहले बीज को बोते हैं, where seeds are there. Then we provide that seed suitable conditions to incubate. Okay, उसको अनुकूल कंडीशन मिले कि उसमें से सैंपल निकले, फिर उसको ग्रोथ के लिए कंडीशन मिले, वो उसको कोई उजाड़े नहीं, बिगाड़े नहीं, उसको अनुकूल खाद मिले, पानी मिले, सूरज मिले, हवा मिले. So constructivist approach is mainly seedling, germination, incubation, creation, construction and connection. फिर से बोलता हूँ, सीड लिया, सीडलिंग, देन जर्मिनेशन, incubation मतलब अनुकूल कंडीशन, then creation, then construction, and that construction is no use which is not connected, which is not deployed, which is not disseminated. This is mainly constructivist approach. पर मैं भारत में देखता हूँ बहुत सारे थीसिस आते हैं, उनमें लगाते हैं ये 5U अप्रोच लगा दिया, ये 7E लगा दिया. अरे भाई, आपकी कोई खुद की अप्रोच नहीं है, आपका स्वयं का कोई उपागम नहीं है. Can't you go beyond 5E's and 7E's? Has not the God given you your own faculties to think something of your own? At the same time, I don't say that the ideas do not have labels, but we do have each one of us does have his her own faculty. Why not to employ that? Many schools have initiated into activity-based approach, but it needs to be strengthened. हम कहते हैं एक्टिविटीज करके सिखाओ, एक्टिविटीज करवाओ, और करके सिखाओ. मैं बताता हूँ आपको, एक उदाहरण देता हूँ. अब एक डॉक्टरल स्टूडेंट ने मेरे साथ में, मेरा मन था, इंटरेस्ट था, उसने एक स्टडी करी होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ साइंस टीचर्स एंड लर्नर्स. और हमने एक लिया एग्जांपल चाय बनाने का, चाय तैयार करने का, टी प्रिपरेशन. टी घर में बनाते ना, अरे गैस चूल्हे पे चाय बनाते, पीने के लिए वही चाय बनाना है. टी प्रिपरेशन, टी का फुल फॉर्म पता है ना? टी, ट्राई इथाइल अमीन. टी इज फुल फॉर्म इज ट्राई इथाइल अमीन. अमीन ग्रुप में जब 3 इथाइल ग्रुप लग जाते हैं तो टी बन जाता है. अब भाई बात, अब क्विकली बताऊंगा. हम चाय बनाने के लिए चले भाई, चाय बनाने के लिए चले. कैसे बनाएंगे चाय? काम वाले चूल्हे पर बनाएंगे या गैस सिलेंडर से बनाएंगे, किससे बनाएंगे, आग चाय बनाने के लिए कैसे होगी। तो चलो मान लिया हमने कहा गांव में है तो वो लकड़ी से जलाई। अब लकड़ी से जलाई या जो उपले हैं गाय भैंस के गोबर के उससे, और लकड़ी से जलाई या किसी एक से जलाई तो जलाई तो फिर क्या, पहले धुआं निकलता है, फिर एकदम क्लियर आंच निकलती है और बाद में राख बचती है। इनके कंस्टिट्यूएंट्स क्या हैं? जो पहले धुआं निकला वो क्या था, जब जब क्लियर फ्लेम आई वो क्या थी, और जब उसके बाद में जो नीचे राख बची वो क्या है, इसका हमें पता होना चाहिए। अगर हमने गैस सिलेंडर इस्तेमाल लिया तो उसमें कौन सी गैस है, वो कैसे आई है, कहाँ से वो समुद्री फोसिल से मिली है, कैसे उसका प्रोसेसिंग हुआ है, और उस सिलेंडर को कैसे फिल किया है, और किसका उस सिलेंडर का कैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हुआ है, कौन कौन सी कंपनियां हैं, मेरे घर में कौन सा सिलेंडर आया, कैसे आया। उस सिलेंडर को जो गैस स्टोव है उसके साथ कनेक्ट करना है, कैसे कनेक्शन किया, कनेक्शन करने के लिए क्या चाहिए, जो गैस स्टोव है वो किसने बनाया है, वो किस मेटल का बना है, उसके कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स क्या हैं, उसमें नोजल क्या है, उसका कंस्ट्रक्शन क्या है, ये पता होना चाहिए। अब जिस भगोने में, जिस कंटेनर में मुझे चाय बनानी है, वो कौन से एलॉय का मोस्ट सुटेबल है। क्या मैं स्टील के भगोने में बनाऊं? नो, इट इज नॉट सुटेबल। क्या मैं केवल पीतल के में बनाऊं? may not be suitable. Then what should be the alloy of the container in which I prepare tea? Which medium I should use for preparation of tea? We make use of water because it is a neutral medium where the pH is 7, power of hydrogen is 7. अच्छा, पानी डाल दिया, पानी गर्म कर दिया, उसके बाद क्या डालूं? अदरक डालने को मन है तो थोड़ा सा अदरक, उसमें थोड़ा सा आपके पास छलनी है उसमें अदरक कस दिया, उसके अंदर जितना चाहिए आपको अदरक कस दिया, डाल दिया, अदरक डाल दिया। अब उसको बस अदरक डालने के बाद क्या करना है, थोड़ी देर उसका एक्सट्रैक्ट निकलने दो। इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन हैविंग जिंजर टी, जिंजर हैज मेनी केमिकल्स व्हिच आर वेरी गुड फॉर द हेल्थ। डाल दिया उसमें, उसको डाल दिया। अब क्या डालूं, अब दूध डालूं कि उसमें टी डालूं? अब चाय डाल दी और चाय को बहुत देर तक बॉयल कर दिया तो क्या होगा, पहले बॉयल करते हैं तो उसमें कैफीन निकलता है, फिर बॉयल करते हैं ज्यादा और बॉयल करते हैं तो ऑक्जेलेट निकलते हैं, और ज्यादा बॉयल करते हैं तो टैनेट्स निकलते हैं, एंड ऑक्जेलेट्स एंड टैनेट्स आर वेरी हार्मफुल फॉर द हेल्थ। तो कितनी देर तक उसको चाय को बॉयल करना है, उसके बाद में जितनी देर तक करना चाहिए किया, फिर उसमें क्या डालें, चलो पहले शक्कर डालें कि पहले दूध डालें, अच्छा मिल्क डाल दिया, मिल्क ज्यादा चाहिए या कम चाहिए, यू हैव टू डिसाइड, डाल दिया उतना डाल दिया। डालने के बाद फिर sometimes you add cardamom, you add certain other things, and then you at the end you add sugar, and then how long you have this mix. Finally, what this mix contains, what is tea contained of, what are the ingredients of tea which we serve. आजकल हमें देखने में आया है कि प्लास्टिक के अगर कप में चाय देते हैं तो कैंसरस होता है, और जब ये बिहार के वो थे रेलवे मिनिस्टर थे तो उन्होंने स्टेशनों पर वो जो मिट्टी के सिकोरे हैं उनमें चाय परोसते थे वहां पर, वो स्टेशन के ऊपर। तो विच द कप इन विच वी सर्व, द कंटेनर इन विच वी सर्व द टी should be which material, which are the, then how should we serve tea, how much of tea, how many times we take tea. There are and questions which have to be answered. ये तो मैंने एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दिया है कि एक्टिविटी बेस्ड अप्रोच, हमारे बच्चे उनके मन में हजारों सवाल उठते हैं, पर क्या है जब भी कोई नोवेल आइडिया उठता है ना, हमें आता नहीं है तो इसलिए हम कहते हैं अरे बैठ जाते हैं। नो नो नो, इफ यू डोंट हैव द आंसर यू से आई try to find out and come get back to you. At present I don't know, and you really try to find out. We really try to find it out. Rarely teachers are competent to deal with inclusive classes. आजकल ये एक हर कोई एजुकेशनिस्ट, पॉलिटिशियन, जिसका भी मन आता है ना वो इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन बोलता है। इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन लाने के लिए जी जान लगाना पड़ता है। अगर मान लिया एक क्लास में एक लड़का ऐसा है जो हियरिंग इम्पेयर्ड है और दूसरा लड़का है जिसकी आई साइट नहीं है, बाकी सबका नॉर्मल है, तो इन दो को ही संभालना मुश्किल है। बाकी अगर बहुत सारी स्पेशल चिल्ड्रन हैं, या जब पीएम साहब क्या बोलते हैं इन बच्चों के नाम दिया है ना उनको, दिव्यांग चिल्ड्रन हैं, और जो दिव्यांग चिल्ड्रन हैं बहुत सारे हैं, तो उस क्लास को कैसे संभालोगे? इंक्लूसिव क्लास कैसे चलाओगे साथ साथ? इसके लिए बहुत सारे सोर्सेज और रिसोर्सेज चाहिए, और सोर्सेज और रिसोर्सेज का इस्तेमाल करना आना चाहिए। हर इंडिविजुअल को ग्रुप में और पर्सनली वहां पर अटेंड करना चाहिए। तब then only we are in a position to have inclusive class including of all these students with varied profiles. Then diagnosis and remediation are done rarely. पता ही नहीं लगता तकलीफ क्या है, पता ही नहीं लगता, और उसका रेमिडिएशन भी नहीं होता। Our education, when we have continuous comprehensive evaluation, we should have continuous preventive measures, corrective measures, adaptive measures and perfective measures, or we should have preventive measures and ameliorative measures. मतलब ऐसा हो कि तकलीफ हो ही ना हो गई हो तो उसका उपचार जल्दी से आए। Then school stereotyping exists even now, such as notion of uneducated children, uneducable children. अरे इसको तो पढ़ाया नहीं जा सकता। Marginalized groups, ये तो इनके पास है ही नहीं इतने साधन, ये स्कूल से दूर ही रहे तो ही ठीक है। Gender type stereotypes, males and females, some male schools, some only female schools, some co-educational schools. I don't know when we will have understanding of bipolarity. और अपने देश में या पूरे ग्लोब में सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या है? बाइपोलरिटी की है। समझ ही नहीं है कि पुरुष और प्रकृति में क्या अंतर है, हाई और लो में अंतर क्या है, हिल और वैली में अंतर क्या है, हाई इलेक्ट्रिक प्रेशर और लो इलेक्ट्रिक प्रेशर में डिफरेंस क्या है, ये पता ही नहीं है। और ये ईश्वर ने क्यों बनाए हैं? बाइपोलरिटी इज द ओपन सीक्रेट ऑफ द क्रिएटर. And this bipolarity exists because the creator of the universe likes to sustain this universe till the time the creator likes to sustain it. और कलयुग अगर सीमा लांघ गया तो फिर वही आएगा. When we go through the scriptures, we know that our Almighty has all those powers to create and annihilate the universe if it does not deserve to be sustained. Problems of bridging the home language and school language. हाँ, ये मेरी घर की बोली हमारे हरियाणा में थी, डायलेक्ट, खड़ी बोली, हरियाणवी. हरियाणवी, if anyone is from Haryana can understand खड़ी बोली of Haryana dialect. Which is script is like Devanagari, but it is खड़ी बोली dialect है. घर की भाषा कुछ है, स्कूल की भाषा कुछ है. जैसे वो आए थे अपने बाप 2 बच्चों को लेकर होली चाइल्ड में दाखिला दिलवाने, घर में तो हरियाणवी बोलते हैं, वहां पर अंग्रेजी पढ़ाएंगे. But how to bridge that gap? Who will bridge that gap? I think it is highly damaging if we have a medium of instruction which is not that of the children. Initial stages, the children should have the local medium of instruction. अरे भारत एक ऐसा देश है, I really feel proud to be an Indian. क्यों? हमारे यहाँ एक लैंग्वेज फार्मूला नहीं, 2 लैंग्वेज फार्मूला नहीं, 3 लैंग्वेज फार्मूला नहीं. We need to understand the language of the universe, the language of the parrots, the language of the pigeons, the language of the sparrows, the language of the rivers, the language of the waterfalls, the language of the lakes, the English language, French language, German language, Sanskrit language, Hindi language, Gurumukhi language, Dogri language, Tamil language, Kannada language. Arey, what is there? If someone is capable of learning it, why I am not in a position to? We should be in a position to converse with everyone. You will say, oh, GOEL, you are becoming too idealistic. आपको कितनी भाषाएं आती हैं? हाँ, बट जितनी मेरे को आती हैं, मैं पंजाब में पैदा हुआ, गुरमुखी आती है, हरियाणा में पैदा हुआ तो खड़ी बोली आती है, हिंदी में मेरा संप्रेषण तो हिंदी आती है, गुजरात में 40 साल से ऊपर हो गया तो गुजराती आती है, महाराष्ट्र में मैटरनल अंकल है पैटर्नल अंकल है तो मराठी आती है, एंड many friends of mine are from Orissa तो उड़िया आती है, उड़िया एंड बांग्ला नियरर टू ईच अदर, बंगाली आती है. What I am sharing with you is we should not have inhibitions. We should be open to the languages, and let us try through our teacher education to develop such such a profile of our learners that they can understand any communication irrespective of the medium it is communicated in. That is, there lies the strength of our teacher education and identity of education. A vast array of human vocations such as weaving, carpentry, farming, and occupations such as shopkeeping constitutes a valuable form of knowledge. These forms of knowledge are of practical nature, tacit, but often only partially articulated. अब आपको याद होगा कि हमारे देश में पहले दो स्ट्रीम कर दी, एक एकेडमिक स्ट्रीम और दूसरी वोकेशनल स्ट्रीम. By chance, I was on a planning commission project on vocationalization of education in India, and we tried to survey the status of vocationalization of education, be it agriculture, be it horticulture, be it sericulture, be it servicing of electrical and electronic appliances, and so on, large number of vocations. In Karnataka state, in Maharashtra state, and I think it was Gujarat state also, we tried to study vocationalization of education. What we found was, even the child of goldsmith, the child of carpenter, the child of लोहार, अरे हमारे में तो गाड़ियां लोहार हैं, गाड़ियां लोहार जो हैं, जो ट्राइब है, और वो चलते चले जाते हैं, जब कहीं रुक के बनाते हैं, दिखाओ ना ऐसा शेप करके, वो बहनें इतनी एनर्जी से, इतने साइंटिफिक तरीके से जो धातु है, जो मेटल है, उसको मोल्ड करके दिखाती हैं. देयर इज a big learning experience. Every child of my nation is a big professional. I think we, in the new education policy, if it has not been included in 2020, should have a provision that the child of a farmer, the child of a carpenter, the child of a goldsmith, the child of a lohar, जो भी हैं, the child of a barber, ये जितने भी बच्चे हैं जो इतनी स्किल्स हैं, उनको वो स्किल डेवलप करनी चाहिए, और साथ में वो भी उनको ज्ञान कौशल और उसके साथ साथ में उनकी भावात्मक अभिव्यक्ति होनी चाहिए, जिसमें उनका विकास हो. पर क्या है, बस सिर्फ अक्षर विद्या, मतलब बच्चों को पागल कर दिया. इतना वॉल्यूम भर दिया किताबों में, लाद दो उसको, लाद दो. Are our children for being loaded with that added volumes of knowledge, which is useless? I think we have to be very sensitive to that, how much volume should be there. We should be provided, we should be contained in our now energized textbooks, in open textbooks. एक नया आया है energized textbooks, उसके अंदर वो हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, वो कोड्स होती है ना, आपको पता होगा, मैं कई बार भूल जाता हूँ उनको, जो पॉइंटर्स देती हैं कहीं से आपको, जैसे हाउ एरोप्लेन फ्लाई, हाउ can I have 14 more minutes or we close?
Sir, it's
Hello?
your choice. The session was till 5 p.m. So if you want to continue, you can.
Already I have closed 16. So could I conclude within 4 minutes?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you should have told me, because when flow is there,
No, I didn't want to disturb you. It was so, I was so in myself engrossed in the listening. So
no, thank you,
okay,
Beta.
sir,
Thank you very
continue.
much. Thanks for controlling. and thanks for regulating.
Oh, my pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
What I was sharing बेटा was कि जो हमारी खुद की वोकेशन है, जो हमारे खुद के पेशे हैं, जब हम उन स्किल्स में उनकी प्रैक्टिस नहीं करते हैं, उनको भूल जाते हैं। और ये अक्षर विद्या जो विद्यालयों में सिखाते हैं, ये हमें कुछ खास देती नहीं है। तो हम घर के रहे ना घाट के, उसको अपनी भाषा में बोलूं तो I think there should be a proper link between our home language, school language, home vocation, school vocation. I think we need to have proper interrelation, interdependence, integration. Neither the curricular nor the co-curricular activities are up to the mark. Many children in English medium schools are not at ease with English. Worse is the scenario in vernacular. Mathematics teaching learning is dull and dry. History and civics are gone. No sensitivity to cultural heritage and religious heritage and Eastern values. Social sciences cease to have normative responsibility. Science is losing scientific outlook and in-look. Holism is a figment of imagination. Health education, human rights education, environmental education, art education, physical education, education for peace and harmony have become empty slogans. Well, there are many challenges and realities. Now I will say the focus of this session is education in search of, in quest of identity. आज हमारी आइडेंटिटी क्यों नहीं रही? कभी हमें वो सरकारी बाबू आके डिक्लेरेशन देता है, कभी हमें हाई कोर्ट का जज डिक्लेरेशन देता है, कभी हमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट डिक्लेरेशन देता है, कभी हमें कोई कमीशन कहता है। अभी जस्टिस वर्मा कमीशन बोल गया 10,000 कॉलेजेस ऑफ एजुकेशन को जो बिलो क्वालिटी है बंद कर दो। बेटा, मेरे भाइयों और बहनों, मेरी आपसे एक ही गुजारिश है, किसी चीज को बनाने में जिंदगी लग जाती है पर उसको मिटाने में कितना कुछ समय नहीं लगता। तो मैं हाथ जोड़ के विनती करता हूं इन कमेटीज और कमीशन से और सरकार से कि जब भी एनिहिलेशन और डिस्ट्रक्शन की बात आए तो थोड़ा उस पर गौर फरमाएं और उसको इससे पहले कि उसको पब्लिक करें, उसके बारे में 1000 बार सोचें कि उसका लिखने में क्या दम है। How much committed are our commissions? How far are our committee members are meeting really? Are they really meeting or they are alienated? First of all, these meetings and commissions should have real ethos. With this, I would like to conclude that it is education has to revive its identity. भारत जगत गुरु रहा है, परंतु अगर ये आइडेंटिटी भारत की जाती है तो भारत जाएगी नहीं, बिकॉज हम में से हर किसी में वो अंगारी है, चाहे वो भूगोल के अंदर आंच हो, बची हुई आंच भूगोल बोलते हैं ना, जो उपले जलाते हैं तो उसके भीतर थोड़ी चिंगारी रह जाती है, वो फिर भड़क के आएगी। और हमारी एजुकेशन में इतना दम है कि वो it will not let the values degenerate, it will not let the institutions degenerate, it will not tolerate any cross border intrusion, and it will not tolerate the annihilation of the humanity by the help of these complex viruses like not like namely वोलिड, क्या था ये, क्या है भैया आजकल जो ये आ रहा है वायरस, इसका 19 नंबर है, वो शुरू में कुछ लिखते हैं, मैं नाम भी भूल गया अभी थोड़ा आवाज में। हमारे टीचर एजुकेशन इतनी फैकल्टीज डेवलप करे टीचर्स की कि इससे पहले कि कोई लोग वायरस बनाए हम वैक्सीन बना दें, और हम किसी को ये मौका ही नहीं दे कि वो वायरस बना सकें। हाउ डू वी डिफाइन पावर? द पावर, व्हाट इज द ट्रू पावर? व्हाट इज द ट्रू पावर? आज फिर मैं वो महाशिवरात्रि की बात याद आ जाती है, जब शिव जी ने अपर्णा को अपनाया। अपर्णा मतलब माँ पार्वती, वो पर्ण भी नहीं खाती थी, पर्ण पत्ते भी खाने त्याग दिए उन्होंने, पूरा उपवास कर दिया, पानी छोड़ दिया, पर्ण छोड़ दिया, सब कुछ खाना पीना छोड़ दिया। फिर आज के दिन उन्होंने माँ पार्वती को, अपर्णा को अपनाया और हलाहल अपने कंठ में रखकर नीलकंठ हो गए, इस सृष्टि को बचाया। इस सृष्टि को बचाने की जिम्मेवारी शिक्षा की है मेरे भाइयों और बहनों, हमारी सबकी है। Let us try to revive that identity of education. Let us try to have that identity of education, and let us have that education wherein no power can have intrusion into our Sanatan Sanskriti, and we should now. I'll just conclude by saying, Nalanda, our university, ना अलंद ददाती इति, जो कम नहीं देती, जो विप्ला थी, वो पूरे ग्लोब की सबसे पहली यूनिवर्सिटी थी, जो पटना के पास है, मेरा ख्याल तो कुछ 50 मील की दूरी पर है पटना से। आपको पता है, जब यहाँ पर एडमिशन लेने के लिए बच्चे आते थे तो क्या होता था, स्टूडेंट्स आते थे तो पहला उनका डायलॉग द्वार पंडित के साथ होता था, जिनको आजकल आप वो गेट कीपर बोलते थे, उस समय उनको द्वार पंडित बोलते थे। और ये द्वार पंडित इतने रिच प्रोफाइल के होते थे कि जो तिब्बत, चाइना, बाहर के अन्य देशों से, भीतर के देश से, अपने देश से विद्यार्थी एडमिशन लेना चाहते थे नालंदा में, पहला डायलॉग द्वार पंडित से होता था, गेट पर जो खड़े रहते थे। वो 10 में से 1 या 2 जन अंदर जा पाते थे, बाकी वापस चले जाते थे, क्योंकि उनको लगता था कि वो इतने सक्षम नहीं है कि वो इस विश्वविद्यालय के प्रांगण में पांव रख सकें। That used to be the profile of our द्वार पंडित। अगर द्वार पंडित का प्रोफाइल ऐसा था, तो अंदर जो टीचर एजुकेटर हैं, आचार्य हैं, प्राचार्य हैं, उनका प्रोफाइल कैसा होता होगा। और जब वो विषय पढ़ाते हैं तो कैसे पढ़ाते होंगे। जब वहां पर वाइवा वोस होता था, तो वाइवा वोस में क्या क्वेश्चन पूछे गए और उनके क्या जवाब दिए, इट यूज्ड टू बी नॉट ओनली द टॉक ऑफ द टाउन, इट यूज्ड टू बी द टॉक ऑफ द entire nation and talk of cross border. That has been the profile of the teacher education of my country, my brothers and sisters. Let us try to revive it, that is, revive that identity of education. With this, I thank you all, and sorry for the overflow of the time by 24 minutes.
No, sir, it was indeed a
Thank you,
pleasure
thank
listening to you, and the session was very, very enriching. Before concluding the session, I would like the participants, in case they have any questions, they can either write their names in the chat box or they can raise hands so that I can allow them to ask questions, so that this session can be made more interactive. So in case anybody wants to ask any question, please raise your hand or write your name in the chat box so that you can be allowed to speak.
You feel free to raise any query, any question, any observation in any language you like, and we will try to reach out to you. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Please, anyone. I can't see any.
हाँ, शादमा, आपसे ही शुरू करते हैं। आप ही सवाल कीजिए, फिर कोई भी और बीच में आ जाएंगे। आपसे ही शुरू करते हैं।
Sir, I would like to have an observation. My observation is the way to define humanity and being humane as a teacher educator was very enriching. I am myself a teacher educator. I've done PhD in education from National Institute of Education Planning and Administration, NIPA. So it was indeed a very thought-provoking session, and after a very long time, I heard such enriching sessions. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shadma. Thank you very much. Any other observation, any other query, any other question in any form? in any language from anyone from all over India?
I can't see any hands raised. Maybe the session was very self-explanatory and very enriching. So that might be the reason, because you connected with the audience very well.
Okay, okay,
And you made the
Shadma.
argument very clear.
I have a question for you, Shadma. What is the meaning of your name, Shadma? Apsar.
Shadma means happiness and Absar means to see.
Happiness
So the
and
entire name, Absar means to see, to view.
view. Okay. Shad, and both the words together mean Shadma, Apsar.
Viewing happiness.
Viewing happiness. Oh, great, Shadma. Very good. God bless. God bless.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Shadma.
So,
Thanks a lot.
Since there are no questions and observations now
I
from the
like
participants,
at least one of the colleagues from anywhere to flag any one question. At least one question.
yeah, there is one question.
Yeah.
He says, why Tamil literature is not taught in North India?
Why?
From Mr. Kailash Davar. Why Tamil literature is not taught in India? North India.
क्या बोले क्वेश्चन क्या है बेटा क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा वॉल्यूम बढ़ा के बोलिए
why Tamil literature is not taught in North India?
Which literature?
Tamil literature.
Tamil. Oh, why Tamil literature is not taught in North India? Okay.
North India. Yes.
Very good. Well, R.L. Madhvi has been one of my doctoral students. She is from Andhra Pradesh. And I have had many students from Orissa, from Assam, from Northeast, from Kashmir, and many varied places. And let me share with you one thing, that Tamil is a very rich state. Very rich state means very rich, having very rich profile, educational profile, and each one of the Tamilians have their own identity. And I think when I look into the ethos of the Aryabrat, when I go into the ethos of our value system, and when I go into the connects of the people, connections of the people, and when I go into the coherence of the people, and when I go into even not only the ideas, even to the Vyanjan, eatables, and when we go into the festives, I think many people observe those. Particularly our colleagues prepare. मैं नाम अभी उसका I am not recalling the name. Prepared some dish which all of us around the table enjoyed, and then I asked, how do you prepare it? That my professor friend said that this is the preparation. This is how it is prepared. So rich a preparation. And let me give you another example. Yes, I think this fab issue of Education India Journal, it has been published. But who has asked this question?
Mr. Kailash Davar.
Mr. Kailash?
Davar.
Okay. Kailash, I like to take you to another realm. Not only Tamil, India is going into from HDI to UDI, that is Human Development Index to Universe Development Index. From Human Development Index, what is Human Development Index? Human Development Index focuses only on the human beings, that is life expectancy of human being multiplied by educational expectancy of human being multiplied by per capita income of human being and the geometric mean of this, that is square root and once and then again square root. This is the HDI which is prevalent all over the globe. No country except India has talked of universe development index, meaning thereby each entity of this universe has equal right of development, be it squirrel, be it serpent, be it banyan tree, be it people, be it flower, be it even animate or inanimate. They have their right of growth and development. And this issue, if you, I'll send you this issue of Education India FAB issue. There one article has appeared which has been authored by Professor Shaya Goel and me, that is Devraj Goel. It is HDI to UDI, Human Development Index to Universe Development Index. I think you people will really like it, that how there is a need to move from Human Development Index to Universe Development Index, rather than how to transcreate the culture of Tamil Nadu into Delhi and Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir. We are trying to go cross-border. We are trying to go not only cross-border, we are trying to go across the globe. Not only across the globe, we are trying to go not cut across, we are trying to reach all the universities. There are n universities, and we are trying to work out Universe Development Index. So that this constellation, which has been designed, developed and implemented by that ultimate creator. Some is in our perceptible range, some is not in our perceptible range. We think of the development of one and all. We think of the norms and mores of one and all. We think of the culture and of one and all. Not only think, we act on that. Not only act, we appreciate that. And not only appreciate that, we try to learn from each other. We try to learn from each other from the core of our souls. Yeah. This is what I have to say regarding. And we Indians. We human beings are we human beings. We don't have any boundaries with respect to caste, class, creed, religion. We don't have.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And before concluding, I would like to thank you a lot for the engrossing and enriching session. It was indeed very thought-provoking, like I already said earlier. I would also like to thank Dr. Surendra Tiwari, who is the convener of this program, and all the participants for joining in and staying even in the extended hours. Thank you so much. Also, I would like to thank Dr. for giving me the opportunity to conduct this session. Thank you so much. On behalf of Indian teacher education community, I would like to close this session now, and we'll see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Let me also thank you all, Shadma. I am thankful to the principal of the College of Education here, and who has really facilitated it. And I really have no words for Dr. Pramod Kumar Gupta, who, as he said, that I was in RDC, Research and Degree Committee. Then I was one of the external referees for his PhD Viva, and he is intimately related to me. And I am really grateful to all of you from all over India for being with all of us. And not only these days only, we will keep communicating, and we will keep strengthening, and we will keep the education live and alive, and we will try to realize our determination and action. We will try to realize our vision and mission. With this, Namaste. हम सबको namaste. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you so
We
much,
will
sir.
meet
Thank
in
you
the
so much.
progressive sessions. Yeah.
Sure,
Thank
sir.
you.
Sure,
Thank you,
sir. Looking
Shadna,
forward to it.
for steering it. Shadna, sir.
Thank you
Okay,
so
beta.
much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
beta.
sir.
Thank
I'm
you. Thank you
ending the
very
meeting
much.
now, everybody.
Yeah.